Good morning, people. Good morning. This is Spirit Journey. Yes, hello, Monday. It is January 31, 2022, and the time is 6:52 a.m. And it's dawn right now, dawn of the day. I love this time of day. Yes, sunrise will come about. Well, the last time I saw on my app, it was 7:11. That was last week, so maybe it's even sooner now since now the days are slowly getting longer. Yeah. So yes, sunrise would be about in less than 20 minutes probably. Mm-hmm. Yes, the sky is still illuminated, and you can see the lights in the building. It's very beautiful. Very, very beautiful. Yes, I used to go outside this time of day with the dogs during the warmer months. Yesterday was too cold to go out. Yeah, it was like 12 degrees Fahrenheit. Yes, I said, honey, I am staying in. I don't know what the temperature is like today, but I do have to step out um, briefly to do something. But it's right in the area, and I have to get it done. Um, yeah, what I want to talk about. Hmm. Yeah, I wasn't sure what I wanted to talk about today. I felt that I wanted to talk, but not really sure what I want to talk about. Then um, I was just looking at a video, uh, and it was on a near death experience of an individual, a woman. And it had me thinking. And the other thing, I wanted to do an update with regard to yesterday's live stream that I did, because I mentioned at the end, like the subject I was talking about. Oh, what was that now? Yeah, being empathic. And as I was talking to one of the individuals who's doing, who was in the chat room, it came to me that with all this stuff about the empath's life and how we act as empaths. Yeah, I have a lot of empathic qualities. And then in contrast to the narcissist, what roles do narcissists play? And the contrast between the two gave me an awareness. Yes, good morning, viewer. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I invite you to say hello in the chat room. So I started thinking that, hey, maybe life is directing me to do something a little different, a little, extend myself a little more, and to do like what some of the YouTubers out there do. They do like the Zoom. So you're able to talk to multiple people and have like a community of individuals to come together and to serve as a support system, a place where you could relax and show empathy to one another. And it seems like the empath seems to get involved with the narcissist And it is an endless cycle of abuse upon the empath. Why can't empaths just come together, get their favorite um, soft drink, drink to ingest, whether it be tea, coffee, juice, water, etc. Their favorite little treats, and we just sit down during a Zoom session or a Patreon session. So I told the person that was watching at the end of my live stream from yesterday about the empath and the narcissist that I will investigate it. So that's what I was working on yesterday, a big part of the day, about starting this um, this connection. So yeah, I did open up my I do have a Zoom account, and I opened up a Patreon account because that's how this YouTuber did it. That see with this type of thing, my understanding. See, when you have something that's open to the public, you're still limited what you can say. But when someone joins something of yours, then it's not for the general public. You have to join slash pay for the service for this exclusivity. So you could um, say things that we can't say on YouTube. Yeah, we're censored on YouTube. We can't say certain words. And you see what happens on my live stream, that we're talking, and then boom, that throughout the conversation there's buffering. And so I don't want that. I want freedom, and freedom costs. So I say, let me do this Patreon. Again, I don't know exactly how it works. I was busy trying to set it up, the account. Um, you have to fine tune it. Yes, I have to fine tune Patreon. Patreon is a is a platform that you apply for, like it's like a subscription, and the subscription is could be monthly or a yearly fee, and it gives you access to the content. So how I want to have it is that in joining, I want to be able to have live streams for people who want to just hang out cyberly and talk. We could talk about our experiences. It could be a question and answer, Q&A. So I will be giving you more access to myself, and I'll be able to have more access to you. And again, it's something that is through a subscription through Patreon. And somehow I have to be able to, I don't know how to navigate in the to have the ability to get the account on Patreon, and then from the Patreon the link to do the Zoom, so that there's a platform where multiple people could enjoy uh, seeing each other, talking to one another. Yeah, so that's what I'm working on. So I did do an email to Patreon how to do this particular thing, because there's a lot of things in between, in setting up an account. So, so anyone who knows how to facilitate the Zoom and have it tied with the Patreon. So the Patreon is the gateway, the initial gateway to get access to the Zoom sessions. And I was thinking, maybe like 1 or 2 days a week or something. I don't know how often I should do this to have these things, um, so we can enjoy one another. So you don't feel as alone because with this cold weather, at least here in New York City, the weather has been extraordinarily cold, colder than usual, and this COVID. So people want to be able to connect with other people. So maybe this is just a uh, an initial way to get through this time. Yeah. So that's what I'm going to talk about. So that's in the works, and so I hope I'm looking forward to doing that. I've never done anything like this. You know, it's getting me out of my shell to initiate this type of account. Um, it's um, it's a little intimidating, but I think this is a good exercise for me to get out of my comfort zone in doing it, something like a Patreon. You know, we have to, we're valuable people, and one thing about empaths, we devalue ourselves. We start to think, other people can do this. No one would want to pay to uh, see me or talk to me. Why even think those ways? Why even think that? It's again that negative programming that a lot of us have. We have so much negative programming that we devalue ourselves. We probably even more valuable than those people out there who charge an arm and a leg. And what do you get? You get foolery. So yeah, I want this to be a positive experience for me and the people who join my Patreon. Yeah, so I will be giving the name and all the details about once I get all the bugs out. I did maybe completed maybe 75% of it of the Patreon. It's just the little tweaks that I have to really settle, really get out the way. Yeah, I can't believe I'm doing it. But I just felt led yesterday, and it was towards the end. I just felt that, wow, that this realization, because see, this fellow YouTuber had asked me something that they were discussing. It was someone that was talking to me. I think in the comment, the chat room. Yeah, it was in the chat room. And it just clicked to me. It just clicked. And as I was talking more and more about the empath and the narcissist, that that is what I was going through in my life. Being a type of empath, empathic person. And what things that could happen to us. And it was like a revelation as I was just talking more and more. I didn't know I was going to talk about to the depth what I was talking about, but it just started to have, I was doing a breakdown, the composites of what these two individuals are about. And that the pairing of these two types of archetypes is creates a vicious cycle of abuse, and the empath has to break away. Yeah. And that could also mean separating from family, so called friends, even people that you work with. It's a price to pay being an empath, uh, but it's worth it. It's worth it when you're able to embrace and love yourself and accept your qualities. You can mature your qualities, and I'm hoping with this journey I'm on that I come to maturity in this realization of being an empath in everything. You have to mature. You have to grow and develop. You know, even people, let's say they have extrasensory perception, and let's say they don't understand it, and they get all freaked out. Yes, they have a gift, but they don't know how to use the gift, and the gift starts to attack them, so to speak, because of their ignorance of their. It's like having a gun, and oops, I'm not supposed to say that word. It's like having a weapon in your hand, and you have it pointing to your head, and you pull the trigger. So you don't want to do that. So in maturity, you learn how to hold your weapon that you were born with and use it as a tool for your edification and to help humanity. That's what it's all about. So with that, here I'm talking about people with special abilities. I was watching a video, and it was about someone's near-death experience. And what was interesting about it now? People's ignorance. This woman was given an account that she was she ingested something that she was allergic to, and she's a nurse, and she always has on. She knew the possibility of being affected by certain, like shellfish, and she knew she had some sensitivities. But in some foods, processed foods, they may put something in the food, and they don't tell you that it has it. But either way, she had an I can't even pronounce the name. This shock when your system you start to swell up. So she took her medicine. She gave herself an injection and raced to the hospital. And when she gets there, she meets. She knew the nurse that saw her, and she was saying, "Oh my goodness," to herself, "This nurse is not very bright." So, yeah. So what happened? She told the nurse in question that she is having an allergic response, and she did take her shot. She says, "Oh, well, if you took your shot, you should be okay." But that's not the protocol, because the person could still stop breathing. Well, that's what happened shortly after. The nurse told her, "Oh, just sit outside in the hallway." So the nurse didn't seem to be very um, in tune of a potential harm of someone going through the shock, allergy shock. And if you're in the hallway, who's monitoring that person? See, common sense. You have people who aren't in their calling. They're in very sensitive positions, like being a nurse or a doctor. Why and how they got in there. And I got the impression that this problematic nurse has issues, control issues. You notice, so you have people in the medical field, they want to feel that they're God and that they know everything. It's such an ego that they have. How could you know the workings of somebody else's body? Everybody's body is unique. How it operates. It's a basic function, what different organs do, but how something works together, the body, soul, and spirit upon one's wellness is unique to that individual's body, their being. And the nurse didn't want to hear it, didn't want to really see beyond her abilities. And I gathered that she was someone that was problematic in school. Nurses have to go to school. What type of student was she? She was, it sounds like someone who just always wanted to be right for her insecurities. I wonder how a person like that um, passed her exams. But you have people who are not in their calling. And what they're doing is dangerous. Basic protocol, because it's about control. You got like witches in church. I'm sorry, I said churches. I meant to say in hospitals. They're about controlling others. They couldn't control themselves, so they go and they work on sick people because sick people are more vulnerable. And so you can control people who can't move, people who are unconscious, and people that you can give an injection to without them even knowing. You can put something in their IV and just say, oh, this is just clearing out the holes. Yeah, there are people out there who are in positions that they shouldn't be in. Oh, I'm just looking at the time. It's 7:13 in New York City right now, 7:13 in the morning. Yes, good morning, beautiful morning. So it's sunrise now. The sun is peeking up. So the sun probably came up about 4 minutes ago. And you can see the light reflecting a little bit off of one of the buildings. Yeah, a couple of months ago, I saw the sunrise in between the buildings, and it was magnificent. It was a very bright orange. Yeah, it's hard to see the sunrise because we have many tall buildings, and you just have to get it right at that point, to see the sunrise. Once it's way up in the sky, it has a different color. It's not the same color. So it's absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Yes, yes. Good morning, sunrise. This beautiful Monday morning. This is the last day of the month, this January. Wow. Wow, it went fast. It went very, very fast. Mm-hmm. So, yes, so you have people in very sensitive areas. You have people, let's say, school teachers, and you can have a school teacher that had problems growing up as a child, and they haven't learned their lesson. They didn't learn the lesson of forgiving themselves and others. So what they do, they could be like, let's say, when they were children, student in school, elementary school, and yeah, elementary school could be quite challenging. And you have teachers who are just maybe working for a check, they're tired. The teacher might have actually started out okay, but the bureaucracy and um, they're told one thing from the principal of the school, but they're not getting any help. They want a miracle to happen, but they're not given the tools to do the job. They burn out, become bitter, and they actually, some of them actually take it out on the student. And if that student tends to be, let's say, a sensitive individual, and they might, they have thin skin, and they start to get on the teacher's nerves. They're just hypersensitive, and they take it out on that child. You have teachers that call students stupid. I've heard it, and I've been called that by a teacher. Yes, when you say things like that to people, you're programming them for failure. And rather than taking it out on your student, take a deep breath, teacher. Because, see, it's a very important position being a school teacher, especially for the very young. You know, one of those students, when they become adults, may actually become your doctor, may be doing a service upon you, and you may be at their mercy. Yeah, teach children to build themselves up. You know, there are classrooms where there's no learning at all. And if you're in a position like that, honey, I'm just saying, hey, tell them what they really need to know about life. You know darn well in some school system, those kids aren't going to learn, and you really don't have the power, but you have the opportunity to say, I'm not going to be here forever as your student. We'll have our session, and then after this, you have to navigate in life. Let me tell you a little secret about life. Stop be daring about teaching them the real things that they need to know. That they're mighty individuals. That they could accomplish things if they focus. And that it takes discipline. A lot of little things to write down, like what you want to achieve in life as an aim, or something that they can keep in their pocket, that they want to do this in life. So when they get distracted or start to forget, they can always look at it and say, I want to accomplish this in life. I want to do that. I want to get out of such and such a situation. Yeah. So you're not just a teacher, and you're not just a nurse. See, a lot of nurses feel, well, they didn't have the grades to be a doctor, so they might have chose nursing. But they don't feel valued, and the doctors do. The nurses know more than the doctors, because the nurses are, they're really interacting with the patient. And you know what? One thing that I notice is overlooked in hospitals, they forget to feed the patient. You get in the emergency room, let's say you're there for over 12 hours. If you don't tell them that you didn't eat anything, you're going to starve. They don't give you water, nothing. I mean, so be it that if you're able to eat something or drink something, that you're conscious. But yeah, that's very important if you're sick or something. You better have some nutrition. And the food that they give these people will get you sick. Yeah. They give you highly processed food, and they call it medicine, that institution. Yeah, so health health is really in your hands. See, that's why with this pandemic, as I call it, oh, I just saw birds up there. I don't see them now. They were just, yeah, they're seagulls. The seagulls are really big because we're near water. And these birds, these seagulls fly around. So you probably see them flying again. Okay. Oh, what was I just saying now? Yeah, so yeah, the food that we eat is very, very toxic, and it brings it pulls your it can make you sick. And so yeah, in this pandemic, they don't seem to be focused on prevention. And it's not these scientists' job for my personal wellness. Each one of you have to put it in your own hands about your own personal wellness. Um, I don't want to get to a point like you're going to be so stressed out, like you're monitoring every little thing that goes in your mouth. You become like a robot of actions of I better do this or else. I don't want to I don't want to live in fear. Yes, good morning, viewer. Thank you for the thumbs up. Peace, love, and blessings be on to you. Yeah. Yeah, I don't want to get like that. See, there's a time and season for everything. And watching the video this morning, excuse me, on someone's near death experience, if it happens, it happens, when that time comes. But I hope that when that time comes, because it'll come for all of us one day, I want to be able to embrace the process. Because see, if we came into this world, sorry, my neck hurts. If we came into this world, we came in for a reason. And they say that this body is not, it's just a vehicle. So I think we should just then see it as, like a car. And then one day you're going to trade it in for another car. But I hope I'm able to learn the lessons. And this person who was sharing their near death experience, the key thing with her was about forgiveness. Yeah, that's a hot one. Forgiveness. Yeah, and it's ironic that the nurse had to go, went to the hospital to save herself from this allergic response that she had towards this food she ate, and she knew she was in trouble. And she knew the nurse that came to her at the hospital, and she knew she was in trouble. And I started thinking, I said, maybe it was a lesson for her in dealing with women like, dealing with nurses like that other woman. Those nurses that are control freaks. Those nurses that want to feel that they're God and so highly insecure at the risk of harming the patient. Yeah, you have, yeah. So she had to, when she was having her near death experience, she had to come to terms about forgiveness. And that's what the lesson was for her. She met, I think, a relative of hers who had passed on the other side. And she wanted to go back. She she was angry with God, she said, during the experience. And then God had showed her that she misunderstood this creator. And there, I forget in between, but a situation happened to her. The situation was like she was a mom, and when her son, I don't remember whether it was that it was a fast forward in this near death experience situation, and that she saw the future of her little child or something. I forget. But either way, her child became an adult and became a parent. And the child, yeah, the mom also was like I think a divorcee, and the her husband was not good with the children. He would make promises over the phone with the kids and then not do it. And it devastated the kids. And that's what the wife had a lot of anger issues about regarding her former husband. And then now, fast forward, you know, this you have this near-death experience, and then the kid, her child, is now an adult with a child of their own, and so now the grandchild of this woman, they were watching a baseball game, and she, it's just a little kid, little tater tot, playing uh, the ball, the ball game, baseball, and the father is watching his kid, run on the base, the bases, and the father or the boy says that, how do you say, that he he never he wants to be a a good father for him, to be a good role model, something like that, and that he never wants to be like what his father was. So the son learned the lesson, and so isn't in life you go through something, if you don't learn that lesson, see that son learned that lesson, and here the mother was able to enjoy her son learning the lesson about not being like what her, what his father was like, and become a what do you call it, like a reprobate. He didn't copy his father's footstep, but said to himself, I am not going to be like him to my children. And here now, grandmother and son was able to enjoy the freedom and the future of that child, of the grandchild. So I think that's a beautiful lesson. See, all of us, even as empaths or sensitives, we go along through life bitter, angry, scared. And we need to, because that one day it's going to hit us all. And I and everybody else out there who's ever had a bad day has to release that energy. Yeah, the near-death experiencer said that things are energy. Yeah, she mentioned something else. That's coming to my memory. Like first is the emotions, what's in your heart. That's one form of energy. And then if it escalates, then it might come out of your mouth. Like you say something negative. And then it comes to action. Let's say your hands and your body, and let's say you do something violent with it. So each time it was a higher level of what can result through negative thought, from the mind to your mouth and to your hands, of something escalating because of anger or resentment or sadness. And that you have to learn how to control your thoughts. I said, wow. Yeah, what was powerful about it is that, like how she said, these things are energy. The energy can take different form. How many times have people, let's say the people who are in prison, see, you don't get arrested because of what's in your mind. You get arrested what you do with your body. You go hit someone because you're having a bad day. It's about discipline, personal discipline, people. all of us have to harness this thing called discipline. Yeah, I think discipline is everything, and that's what I see. I have to develop more of. Yeah, so I got up this morning, and I mopped my floors around 4:30 this morning. Yeah, I awakened, and I say, let me get, start my day. So I got the water ready, to I set up a little bucket of water with the sponge mop because to clean the floor because I have my little dogs and we're indoors all day. And you have to keep the floors, because what dogs and cats do, they can track on the floor, if you know what I mean. So, you have to keep it clean, especially during this pandemic. You want everybody to live in cleanness, but but not to be anal with it. See, we have to live in harmony with everything. Yeah, and even how they handle this crisis that's happening now, um, like sanitizing every. I have to be careful with this, but you know, it's not about how spotless everything is. See, our bodies um, are living amongst other organisms. Yeah, that's also what the near death video talked about. That we're not living in a vacuum. When we're in this 3D world, we share this world with other living creatures that actually live inside our body. Bacteria, viruses, molds, um, other animals, birds, dogs, cats, and other people. And we fail to realize that our bodies, if we didn't have certain organisms in our body, we wouldn't be well. They live inside our gut, our whole body. And so I'm thinking now, it is this life is really about tolerance of others. More than just tolerance, but harmony. That's the word. It's about harmony. We have to live in harmony with one another because your body, your cells are independent of each other and at the same time uh, live in harmony. Each cell has its own mind in your body. When the body is in disharmony, that's when you have a lot of sickness. So when so talk to your body. I know it sounds bizarre, but talk to your body. Say, good morning, body. We're going to do this today. Or, I want to do, let me know if you're not feeling well, let me know in advance or, give me information. We need to communicate with one another. That the hands have to work with the feet, your body, you know, you want your body to work with you. So respect your body. Respect all aspects of yourself so it will help you and you will help it. So now they want people to, hate their own self. People want to, they want to be some other race or nationality. And I'm saying today, be who you are. Be, be you. Embrace yourself. Hug yourself every day. If you don't appreciate yourself, how do you expect other people to appreciate you? Am I speaking the truth, people? Let me read this comment. Oh, I haven't seen this person before. Yes, good morning, viewer. Uh, Anne Rose, okay. Good morning. What are your thoughts about the suicide of Miss USA yesterday? She was 30. Oh, I didn't know about that. She was 30. Wow, 30 years old. Wow. I didn't know about that. Oh, what was that? That was what you said, Miss USA. Wow. How horrible. How horrible. I did see under in the social media that the mayor of Maryland committed suicide. Wow. And I was a grown man. Um, my condolences to the people, you know, the loved ones and friends of those two individuals. Yeah, this month, January, January is almost up now. Today's the last day of January. But this month of January for me seemed very quiet, still, almost like like a death energy. It's like the lack of life in it. This it's cold. It's not thriving. It's really weird. I don't recall myself for for a while to just stay in. Yeah, I've been in much of this month. I might have gone out 4 times this month. Um, yeah, the desire. See, I don't like my dogs don't like. Yeah, I have little dogs. See, this is one of them on my lap. See, the little fur burrow. Yeah, that's one of three I have. Yeah, there's a it's like a stillness in the air. And so sometimes I just feel I need to go within. I do what's called mirror gazing. And my last session, I felt pretty good. I was very relaxed. Sometimes I do get anxiety, but this time I just felt totally relaxed. I needed to go within. People, yeah, my heart goes out to anyone these days who's feeling bad about themselves. Um, One thing I'm not a doctor or anything like that, but it's okay if you're feeling down to, if you have a friend to talk to them. Um, Listen to, elevating music, or just do a meditation. You can do mirror. See, we're never really, really alone. You know, um, you have yourself. And I know that sounds odd because, you, I think when what happens to our bodies, to ourselves, our mind, that we start to get disconnected from our own self. And it produces a feeling of loneliness and despair and emptiness. It's a horrible feeling. It is. So I think that's the perfect time to go within because you are being disconnected from yourself and enjoy yourself. And some things you cannot help outside. I am not God. I cannot change any one of those things that I see out there. Nothing. I mean, where I live, it's a lot of violence now. You have more drug addicts on the street where I live. And they even hang out in this weather? Yeah, you would think that they'd be indoors. They're out there. And you know, they don't, I don't, I'm not sure if they had a mask on either. How come these homeless people and the drug addicts seem to be more resilient than the so-called people living in homes with jobs and all that? People, hello, does that make sense to you? Why is that? Why is certain people getting sick? Start asking yourself questions. Don't believe everything you hear because there's a manipulation game going on. They want you to believe they want you to believe that the sun is a different color. They want you to believe that, you know, let's say they think it's green. They can make you believe anything. And then you jump on it, get scared, and then have a meltdown. Yeah, some people I notice are starting to lash out. I hear there's a lot of riots now or protests in Europe. Yeah, by the thousands. They're saying enough is enough. Yes, enough is enough. They're trying to take control over your will for something that's not. I mean, um, there's always been. You know, you cannot be separate from, germ free. There's no such thing as germ free. You have to live in harmony with these um, these things that are in our environment. It's the disbalance of it that causes illnesses. What happened 3 years ago? Yeah, probably the same number of people were sick. It's they're taking the natural and blowing it up to make you think that it's a real pandemic. It's not what you think. And now they're introducing to your body something that's not really even examined. You are the experiment. You're the experiment. Yeah, be careful. Yeah, I'm not going to drink the Kool-Aid. You know, if you know, I want to control I want to master myself. It's hard enough to master yourself, you know. We need to get to know ourselves and love ourselves. I feel that if you really, I mean, a narcissist is someone that's it's a disproportionate of obsession with themselves. I'm not talking about obsessions, personal obsessions. I mean, a balance, self-respect, and to control, the things that you can control, and to enjoy life. Enjoy. This whole past 2 years, I'm hearing more and more people. And again, a lot of people lost their jobs, and a lot of companies had to close. So I understand in that perspective why they're marketing themselves on the internet. But you have some people that it's like the more they make, the more they want to make, and they become slaves to money. Money is a tool. If you need a tool, you get the tool. But there's a point when there's an obsession. And you never hear them say about service. Okay, they want the money, but they don't want to give good service. You notice now the things that you get is shabby, it's poorly made, because humanity doesn't respect humanity. And they're becoming deceived through money. Money is the new God. I mean, it's not new, um, but how it's a God, and it has more control over you than you control it. How could this happen? How could something like that happen? You don't see dogs and cats and birds having a market. You have those traditional societies in those what they call third world, those traditional so-called primitive societies. They live in harmony with the environment, and they don't have any questions about are they a boy or a girl. Why isn't societies like ours here in the United States, in so-called first worlds, how can they have more confusion and more violence? Something's not right. It's not right. Yeah, we're being fooled, people. We're being fooled about what's priority. There are people that have 2 jobs, 3 jobs. They don't see their children. And the children are acting out. Where's mom? Where's dad? It's awful. And then they feel, unloved. And they start to think, well, when I get older, and they just repeat the same cycle of what their parents or caretakers did. But again, how I tie this all in, remember I was talking about the person who had the near-death experience, that woman who was a nurse, and she shared the message that her own little child, when her child became an adult, the child, who's now a man, decided for himself that he's not going to repeat the same cycle, what happened to him, what his father did against his family, against his mom. And now that he has a son, a little boy, and he's watching his little boy play baseball with the other little children, and he said to his mom that I am not going to be the same dad as the one I had. I'm going to be a good father. So I thought that was a powerful statement, and that no matter what happens further in this man's life, he learned a key lesson so he could go in peace in life. That's how I feel. Yeah. So let me just see that last message here. Let's see. Anne Rose says, I started watching you a few days ago. I enjoy your conversations. They resonate with me. You have a very calming voice. Thank you so much. That's really nice for you to say that. Yeah, we all need encouragement, even us YouTubers. And I appreciate you coming on and sharing that. That took a lot of courage to tell me that. I appreciate you for sharing that blessing to me. Thank you, Rose. Yeah, I am working on what I mentioned in the beginning of this live stream before I go, because I see that it's getting late here. Um, that I'm planning on uh, doing a like a what do you call it? Oh, what do you call those things? When you have many people, what do you call it? How could I forget that? Well, I'm going to do a Patreon, and the to allow people, to see. It's very Being on YouTube, I cannot say certain things. I cannot say certain words. They're always when I'm doing a live stream like this, I get censored all the throughout the video that it starts to buffer because of the algorithms that certain words are triggered, trigger a response with the live streaming, and it interrupts. And plus, I want the freedom to be able to talk. And in order to do that, to overcome those obstacles, what some YouTubers are doing now are creating Patreon accounts. Patreon is a subscription that you pay for, and so I've been working on it yesterday to form a Patreon account so that I could be to upload content, you know. Um, so that's what I'm working on. And that other, I wish I could remember that thing. Oh, Zoom. Yeah. Yeah. Some people are able to do like a Zoom session. And so I wanted to invite those people who resonate with the empath's journey to subscribe, and it allow access to do Q&As, to share your thoughts and not be censored by YouTube. And so that's what I'm working on. And so when I have it up and running, which I hope is very soon, um, I'll share with the rest of you people so we can have a wonderful session of sharing our thoughts, having laughs. See, I wanted to be a place where we could come together as empathics and sensitives to enjoy one another, to support one another emotionally. See, we're so busy with the narcissists and want love from the narcissist that we often pair with. Hey, why don't we come to our own? Encourage one another to strengthen us so that we can go back out there and be who you want to be, to fulfill your life's path. Yeah, it's not something to, it's something to help you move on. That's what my intention is. We all need comfort, motivation, encouragement. And once we get that, through this support system, then you can go out in your everyday life and do what your life's path designed for you to do. Yeah. So I can't think of anything else. But each one, to give a word of encouragement. Um, that's what's needed so much these days. And if those people who committed suicide, if they just had a voice of encouragement, yeah. My eagerness is to encourage and to be encouraged. I'm human too. Okay. So I thank you for watching, and yeah, enjoy your day. Make sure you drink your water. Try to do something good with your body, and with society. Okay. Take care and enjoy the rest of your day. Bye bye.